right thinkers. Tune into your boy, Pfunk, Thinking Right, at my YouTube classroom where I do what I do for you. See, the background a little different because I'm on vacation. I'm still on my grind, taking care of my job, doing what I do for you. Today, writers 25 rules to live by. We're going to talk about Africa. Yeah, Egypt mainly. The title is Africa, the Motherland, Egypt's a prodigal son. So we're going to start out with Egypt, Africa's son. What does that mean? Let's talk about it. Africa is the biggest continent on Earth, the mother, the biggest. It's the site of civilization. Every artifact found, every ancient bone, every fossil dates back to Africa. End of discussion. Next one, excuse me. Egypt is in Africa. Some people don't know that, and it's in Africa. End of discussion. Moving on. They started the arts of writing, keeping records. It was other civilization that was folklore before it was writing, before hieroglyphics came around. Everybody had their own form of communication. We just modified it, we modernized it, and we gave everybody the platform for what we use today as writing. Okay, same thing. We use pictures. We doing more of the memes and signs. We're going back to the hieroglyphics. All right, here we go. Third one is Egypt was the educators of Asia, India, Rome, Greece, the world. Okay, yeah, we started this thing. Okay, understand that. Egyptians were the first people to contemplate and conceptualize what we call the creation story. Everybody had an idea. In every story, in every religious aspect, we started with the abyss, we call it the noon. Okay? The spirit went above the deep, the spirit floated above the face of the abyss until it became man, word became flesh. That's all to conceptualize from, Egypt. Okay, last one. Africa is called the mother of civilization, meaning that makes Egypt her prodigal son. We taught civilization out of Egypt. That's where it comes from. Next one is Egyptian history is really our history. Black people, understand. Stop playing this game back and forth with yourself. Understand, we are black African, from descendants from Africa. No matter what part of Earth you're on, you got some African in you. In the discussion. Here we go. Egyptians taught every aspect of life way back before any other civilization came into existence. So we are the originators. That's all. Egyptians knew the astrology, the measured time. We had the architectures. We understood the earth. I hear the Muslims and the Islamic brothers, they quote the circumference of the earth and they give you how distance is. That's all come from Egypt. You ain't create nothing. You ain't invent. That ain't nothing that we don't already know. Okay, let that go. Egyptians, we know, was black. The white man is the liar and try to make that whole concept work to his benefit. The Greeks, the Romans, a little warm up in this piece. I got to get the air on in a few minutes. But yeah, I don't want to get back to this racial thing, but African, Egyptians, before we were interrupted, we had a 5,000-year run of living civilized, a living peaceful, living Maya. Okay, moving along. Here we go. The Egyptians had a way to reach God through right living. Maya. I'm just bringing it to the forefront so we can all use it because, like the blood of Jesus, it still works. Here we go. Next one is Egypt built. We set the pyramids to show everybody after us how great a people we really was. We can't duplicate it. We haven't redone it yet. Okay, so no leftover blueprint. Nobody tell us how to do it. So it's just all speculation and all concepts. But ain't nobody came up with the right one yet. Great group of people. All right, here we go. Next one is Egyptians was a one-of-a-kind people. Spiritual. Very spiritual. They understood living right in this time gets you into what they call the afterlife. We live for now. We are greedy. We are right now people. We got instant gratification, instant everything. Everything now. But we forget and don't understand, like anything else, it's a process. Life's a process. Getting to God, process. Working towards that, a process, a daily process of practicing right living. That's where I come in at. Here you go. The pyramid builders were the first masons. I joined Masonic order. They told me the masonry started in Massachusetts in 1717 at the Green Lion Inn. I'll leave that there. The Egyptians was the most spiritual people on earth. I say it again. I'm a spiritual being because I understand the power of the spirit. I understand living a spiritual lifestyle. It's the ignorant ones to that concept that's going through whatever they're going through. But trust me, I'm doing this for a purpose. I have a reason. Enlightening you to you is my goal. That's my point. I'm enlightened. I ain't bragging. I ain't know it. I'm just trying to tell you this is why I do it, because I know it. I'm not giving you a bunch of nonsense. I'm giving you straight facts about what it is I do and how I do it, so it can be used by you and help you build yourself to be a better you. That's all I got for you. Understand that? Here we go. Egyptians were the inventors of time. They kept clocks by the sun. They know they came up. One guy's job was, you sit here. When the sun hit the horizon, you watch it until it go from the east all across all day long. It's a 12-hour span. They know that. They've been there 24 hours in a day, half day, half night. Come on. They was all the inventors of this. All the Egyptians brought all of this to us, and we take it for granted. Whatever. So stop. Understand. It's all about you understanding who you are. All this other stuff going on, everybody about the virus. I ain't worried about the virus. What I care about that? I'm not jumping up and down acting the fool. I digress. Excuse me. Get back to what I do. Here we go. All right. Egyptians named and knew the animals' gifts from God. When they wore the headdress of the animal, because they knew his skill, they knew his aspect, they knew the gift that God had given him, and they perpetrated using it as an aspect in their life. I keep trying to tell you, the gods are just aspects and characters of you. They all reside in you. All you got to do is wake them up and use them. They put them there for a reason. They've been there since we've been here. Ain't nothing new. Excuse me. All right, here we go. The next one is, the Egyptians used their knowledge and spirituality to create great things. Again, the pyramid, the Sphinx. When you build a monument to your maker, when you live a spiritual life, when you're doing the right thing, you're doing it for God. Okay? That's the concept. That's where it comes from. Having the intellect to understand that, being conscious of that, and then being smart enough to and disciplined enough to implement it in your daily life so that you see it work for you. Boy needs shade. All right, here we go. Egyptians' presence still in today's time. Right now, the stuff that we're doing, we didn't create, we didn't invent. We just modified it and tweaked it like I do with the concepts that I use from the Egyptians. Everything else did originate, so why not go there? Why take all this other one, this and that? I don't do that. I go to the original source and I take it from there. Here we go. Next one is, that phone being a pain, I gotta turn it down. The Egyptians knew medicine. Got a guy called Imhotep, the first genius, multi-genius. They give Hippocrates the Hippocratic oath for doctors. He gave the oath to Imhotep. I digress with them. Engineering, the arts. The pyramid, excuse me. He was the instructor of the first pyramid. Saqqara, the first 6-step masterbot turned into a pyramid. But he was the creator, he was the inventor for Egyptian, at that time, Pharaoh Joja. So, big story there. Whole nother lesson. But right now we're talking about the Egyptians and what they did, how we're using the stuff today that they stepped for thousands of years ago. Okay, here we go. The Egyptian gave us most every aspect of life that we live by today. Again, this is my work, so yeah, I'm pretty much ahead of it. Here we go. The Egyptians used drugs back then. The lotus flower that grow hallucinogen. You see a bunch, every time you see it, they got the lotus flower, they were sniffing lotus. They were sniffing the pollen from the lotus plant and getting tore up from the floor. So drugs ain't new. Okay, I'm sure they had drugs. They had people hooked on the drug. I'm sure of that. So everything. Alcohol, the same thing. It's life. Live it. In our time, you do what you do now. I'm just taking an aspect and a concept from the ancient time and modifying it. And we're doing the same thing with every aspect that we're doing. I just did mine with spirituality. That's all in how I live. Understand that. My wife do. So I don't care about anybody else. All right, here we go. Last one. Egyptians were the proud spiritual people. Amun-Ra was respected by all. Amun, the hidden one. Ra is the sun. The sun is the emanation from Amun, so you can recognize him and know who he is. He said that for us. So the Egyptians paid very much respect to the sun. They didn't worship as God. The name Ra symbolizes is of God. Here we go. The last 5. Egyptians, I use their concepts today. They still work. That's what I'm telling you. New, ain't nothing new under the sun. I've been telling you that for years. I learned my concepts of right thought philosophy after studying over 30 years of Neterism, Shitat Neta, following the guidelines, Mayat. These is all concepts that were laid out ancient time. I just studied them. I perfected them, and I mastered them, and I began to teach them to the people who want to learn them. That's all I'm doing. Okay? Next one is my right thoughts philosophy are modern Maya concepts. Again, that still work today. Right is right. It wrong. But we in a point in time where wrong ain't too bad. Some people just choose to do wrong, and because they benefit, it's beginning to snowball to, well, look, man, look, you can become president. You can do this. By being wrong? No. I digress. I learned the Egyptian yoga, aka Egyptian mystery system, because it offered me a chance to be a better me. And as a human being, that's all you can ask. I don't want anybody to do nothing for me, but if you can give me advice, which we've been giving us all our life, people been teaching us the wrong stuff, we've been following stuff that we don't know, but when you get something that's beneficial to you, that's good for you, I took it and ran with it, and I'm still running with it. Why? Because it's good. Just because it's old to me, it ain't good. I'm old. I'm still good. Here we go. The concept of living, doing, being right will always be the favor from God. God only wants goodness, divine righteousness, justice for all. He ain't saying a certain group of people. He ain't saying a certain race of people. For all. When Ra get up in the morning, when he come across the eastern horizon to do what he do, he shines on all. That's the concept. Okay, that's where it comes from. He don't just shine on the rich. He don't just shine on the privileged. He don't just shine on the unfortunate, less fortunate. He shine on all. So we all have choices to make in life. Some situations don't afford us some choices. That's unfortunate. But you still get the benefit of the sun and the night. That's nature. We don't control that. Man need to understand that. And that's the next one is the last thing. Everything we do as religions all come from the Egyptian Maya concept of living, doing, and being right in order to get to that place, that mansion not built with human hands, okay? That mansion, many rooms that if I didn't tell you, if it wasn't so, I wouldn't tell you. All these concepts here come out of Egypt. Maya, Google Maya, young people. You need to understand, everybody talk about Isis and she's the queen, she's all that. But Maya is what set everything in motion. She play a whole bunch of roles. She wear a few hats, but that feather ain't the only thing she do. She represents order, justice, and balance in your life. When there's no balance, you off balance, you have disease, you have mental illnesses, you have all kind of malfunctions when the body is not functioning at peak performance. That's why I go to the gym in the morning. I make sure I get my prayer time in, I get my workout in, I do what I do, which is best for me. I live that lifestyle. Anybody can do it. You do what you do for you. I get the ideas and concepts to you to help you do that. Take it, use it, it becomes yours. I'm doing it because it's mine. I give it to you. Now name it right thoughts because it's coming from me. You learn it, it's yours.